right, our next item is something really exciting. It is brand new today. Elizabeth's going to stick around to tell us about Sparkup. Sparkup is a magical book reader, and really who will be reading these books is maybe a parent, a grandparent, an auntie, a big sister who have recorded their voice into Sparkup, and it doesn't have to be a special book. It can be any picture book that you have in your library at home right now. We also include 2 books with this that have already been recorded for you, Tiki Tiki Tembo and Shrek. It's sale priced for Christmas in July at under $50, and you're getting easy pay. I know you're really psyched about this item.
I am so excited. This is one of those items I search and search and search for the best, the coolest things that are coming out, something that's going to help our children learn. I'm going to show us just by sparking up Sparkup right away, just how it originally works. Now, with the books that come with it, they're already pre-recorded.
Audio presents Tiki Tiki Tembo.
Now watch what happens as I turn the page.
By Arlene Moselle, illustrated by Blair. Tiki Tiki Tembo.
So it knows when you're turning the page, and it knows what to read regardless of what page you're on.
Exactly.
A long time ago, it was the custom of all the fathers and mothers in China to give their first and honored sons great long names. But second sons were given. Every morning, the mother went to wash in a little stream near her home. The 2 boys always went chattering along with her. On the bank was an old well.
So you see, as your child actually turns the pages in these books, the camera is aware of where they are in the book and will play that pre-recorded voice. But here's the magic.
So that's great. You might be saying, oh, that's a cool idea, but how do I, I don't know that I always want to buy audio versions of books. That seems like it'd end up costing a lot of money beyond what I'm paying. Here's where Sparkup is brilliant. Those are already pre-recorded for you, but as Elizabeth's going to show you, for every one of you watching, now you can record your voice reading whatever picture books your kids have like this, and Sparkup will be able to then play it for your child the same way we showed you the pre-recorded version of Tiki Tiki Tembo.
Exactly. Now this Sparkup holds up to 250 minutes of pre-recorded.
Which is about how many books?
About 50 books.
Wow.
Depending on the length of the book. Now we simply take the book and we're going to take the back cover and we're going to slide Sparkup right onto that back cover. Now I pre-recorded this, and actually I have to tell you, we've done a bunch of these at home now where my daughter and I have done it together.
How to babysit a grandpa.
But I was able to record this myself. Now, you know I travel so much for work. I'm gone so many 60 nights a year from my children. I miss story time sometimes, which is tough. So what I was able to do, turn the page, Simone, was record my voice into Sparkup in one of her favorite books.
How to babysit a grandpa. Babysitting a grandpa is fun, if you know how. When your grandpa rings the doorbell, what should you do? Hide.
So now Simone can go to the bookshelf. She can pick out her favorite books that we have pre-recorded, that Grandma and Grandpa have pre-recorded, that my brother, Uncle Will, has pre-recorded, and we can supplement story time with hearing from our favorite family members because it's so easy to do. This is something that you can send to Grandma and Grandpa and they can record books for the child.
Well, that's what I think. If you are a grandparent and you live some type of distance away from your grandkids, how great to order this, to read some of the books that are at your house, to send those books and the Sparkup to your grandkids.
Yes.
And whether you're 5 miles, 500, or 5,000 miles away, every night at bedtime, you will be reading them a bedtime story. If that isn't worth it right there, I don't know what is. Of course it's great for the traveling parents who still want their kids to not miss them when they're gone, I think it would be great also for your kids to read you the story, because it encourages them to hear their voice and they hear themselves reading aloud.
Exactly, and what we were doing bouncing back and forth was a little bit of comprehension where I might ask, where is this on the page, or what did the bird say? So you're able to add anything you want into the story and onto each page. Now, when I put this in a minute ago, Sparkup said, I don't recognize this book. That's because I haven't recorded this book yet.
Okay.
But I want to show you how easy the process is. So what I did is I'm going to actually turn this off just to show you how easy it is to turn on from head to toe. We're going to turn it on by pushing that center button. It actually lights up green. On the top we have volume. On the side,
this book is.
I'm not sure what this book is. So I'm showing it the cover, and this, he doesn't recognize it because we have not yet recorded it. Now there's a button on the side. That's our record button. It's going to give us two options. We can record page by page. So we literally will read one page and we'll hear our voice back, and then we can continue on to the next page if we're satisfied with the recording, or we can do the continuous recording where we go straight through and do the whole book.
A new book, continuous mode.
So
Start by reading the cover, flip a page to continue.
How Rocket Learned to Read. Next page, Simone. How Rocket Learned to Read. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. I'm so glad you saw my sign, the bird chirped.
The book was successfully recorded.
So I just did a few lines from each page. Now I want you to see how easy that was. I closed the book. It said I successfully recorded it. So now I'm going to turn it on, and let's see what happens with Sparkup.
How Rocket Learned to Read.
Look how fast this is. It's instantly recognized what book I'm in.
Next page, Simone.
You see what I was able to record.
How Rocket Learned to Read. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing.
Love it. Love it.
So instant, so fast, and so intuitive. So
And again, no extra money on the back end of having to buy special books that Sparkup has to know how to read. You take any picture book, and by that we mean any book with illustrations that your kids have in their library. It can be the most simple
Yes.
to, again, maybe, they're a little bit more advanced reader, but as long as it has pictures in it like this, right? You will be able to use those books that you already have. Maybe there's a favorite book. Let me tell you, if I read Goodnight Moon once, I read it a million times when my kids were getting, growing up. So how fun that on the days where they want, to hear that story, they just go grab it from the bookcase, they grab the Sparkup, and they can hear mommy reading it. I think it's such a wonderful way to encourage reading. As the daughter of an educator, let me tell you, if I heard it once, I heard it a million times. Gosh, reading and words open up whole new words to us. So maybe this is an exciting way to get your children to love reading.
Yes.
Because even though you're reading to them, they'll start to be able to recognize words. They'll start to be able to follow along, and before you know it, they're reading the stories back to you.
Exactly. And they're hearing all these stories from their favorite people. Yeah. So perhaps mom is traveling on business and daddy's sitting down to story time and daddy reads a book, but then they want to hear mommy's voice too. They can pull out Sparkup, open up a book that mommy has pre-recorded, and sit together and listen to that book. Also wonderful when I'm cooking. I remember my children needing things to do when I was getting dinner together, when I was doing laundry. Rather than flipping on a TV, how about pulling out Sparkup and letting them sit with their favorite books, like you said, Goodnight Moon, Caps for Sale, all those great Dr. Seuss books. Well, we can pre-record all of those, and really when they hear that special voice like grandma or grandpa reading to them, it's such a wonderful moment.
Also great, how many of you, gosh, once in a while you like to sneak out on a date night with your hubby. Well, what's the babysitter going to do when they have a crying child who wants mommy to read me my favorite story? Guess what? Mommy can read you that favorite story. Go grab the Sparkup. So, I mean, it's wonderful because kids can listen to the stories that they love. It works with books you or that child already has. It's a wonderful way to have a new experience in reading. And one thing that Elizabeth was telling me earlier when we talked about this, she said, really, it's the high-tech version of a tape recorder.
Yes.
So instead of using those big clunky tape recorders where you're taping your voice, now you have it in this modern, easy, lightweight form called Sparkup that's smart and intuitive enough to know what book it is once it's been recorded in. It knows because there's a camera right underneath here. That's what you're seeing here. This is a little camera. That's what's picking up as pages are being turned. It is a wonderful new product. We're thrilled to have it, and we have it at that Christmas in July sale price. We're going to go to our phones.
Oh, great.
Linda's calling us from Massachusetts. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. This is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So what did you think about this idea of Sparkup?
I think it's a great idea. And actually, I bought it as a Christmas present for our best friends who are new grandparents.
How exciting.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and their child is, their grandchild's far away.
Yes.
So we're going to give it to them early.
Great.
So they can, and the woman was a teacher before, so she's very into reading.
Yes.
So we're going to give them it before Christmas so they can record some books of their own as well and give it to the grandchildren.
Love it. Make sure they include "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" in that pack too, right?
Absolutely. So what a great gift.
I think it's fabulous. And there are books out there where you can buy the book and record the voice in the back of the book.
That's right.
But that's just one book. And then you'd have to do that over and over and over and over again. It would be so expensive. I love that here it uses books that the grandparents might already have or that they'd like to get their children interested in reading.
That's right.
And they'll be able to hear Grandma and Grandpa's voice whenever they want to.
Sure, and they can record a number of books ahead of time that are age appropriate over ages. So
Exactly.
Much better than giving the grandparents a bottle of wine or whatever.
Yeah, I think they'll love it.
It's so
they'll
personal
love
and
it.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great
Really
idea,
excited.
Linda. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you were watching.
Well, thank you. Me too.
All righty, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What do I need to know? How do I charge this? Does it run on batteries? Those kinds of things.
It runs on batteries. It holds up to 250 minutes of reading time, so that's about 50 books. Listen, when it gets full, you can connect this to your computer, download some of the files and take them off, and put new books on. But you can keep those files forever on the computer, put them back in so the children continuously can change their books.
Well, what I love is the idea that our caller just mentioned, that as the child gets older, right, you want to take the books off because now they're off onto a new category of books, and you're using books you already have or will be getting. Plus, don't forget, you're already getting pre-recorded versions of Tiki Tiki, Tembo, and Shrek, plus that little My Magical Book reader. So that's already going. It's already started. They're already on their way. Retail value on this is over $70. We're at 2 payments on Easy Pay of $24 and change. T32582. Stay on the line if you're dialing in. One of our great hot picks today.
Welcome. Sparkup can read almost any children's book in the world, either books you download from our website or nearly any book you record in your own voice. Take the Sparkup out of its original packaging. Make sure to remove the plastic tab from the back to take the device out of Try Me mode. Let's read our first book. It has already been recorded onto the Sparkup. First, check that the clip is locked into place. Then slide it onto the top of the back cover, making sure it's centered. Close the book and turn the Sparkup on.
My Magical Book Reader.
Turn the pages and the Sparkup will follow along.
If I try to outsmart it and skip a page or two, Sparkup will notice and skip them too.
You can even turn pages out of order.
See what I got? Come take a look. A magical reader that sparks up my books.
When you're done, just close the book and the Sparkup turns off. Okay, now let's record our first book using page-by-page mode. Choose a book, attach the Sparkup, and make sure it's resting at a 90-degree angle. Then turn it on. Always begin by recording the book's title. Hold down the record button.
A new book. Page by page mode. Start by reading the cover. Press the center key to pause. Press it again to continue.
What book do you want me to read?
What book do you want me to read?
To pause and listen to your recording, press the center button. Open to the first page.